Hello, I'm aware I only have two hats. Everyone has their favorite stand-up comedy special, but how can we compare stand-up comedy specials without the favoritism getting in the way? Hopefully like this. Welcome to the Laugh Track, where we track stats and chat facts. This week I'll be watching Killin' Them Softly, Dave Chappelle's first of 8 stand-up comedy specials. This was filmed at the Lincoln Theater in Washington, D.C., Dave Chappelle's hometown. This was released on HBO in the year 2000, and 26 years later, you can still find it there. This year in comedy, the year 2000, which I do not remember because I was small. Movies like Scary Movie and Meet the Parents, coupled with a weird little phenomena at the time. Big Mama's House and The Nutty Professor 2. We just love seeing our black comics in big old fat suits. Also Norbert, I don't know, that probably wasn't this year, but that was around the same time. So we don't see that nowadays. Let's bring that back. I want to see Kevin Hart rolling around on the big screen. Small guy, big rolling around on the big screen. Get fat, all right? Get fat. Curb Your Enthusiasm for the shows, Malcolm in the Middle for the shows, Jackass for the shows. The shows could not be more different. Very, very different. But all of them make me nostalgic in different ways. Also, weird. Either they all just kind of like ended or they're all coming back. Like Malcolm in the Middle is coming back. Jackass just had another movie not that long ago. Curb Your Enthusiasm just ended. None of this stuff will die, you know? For the comedians, highest grossing by ticket sales. Chris Rock, 6 million. George Carlin, 8 million. Jerry Seinfeld, 10 million. That's cool because 2 of those guys are still alive. Nice. And now it's time for comedic controversy of the year. In the year 2000, people were mad at Jackass, like the parents and stuff were mad at MTV, like, ooh, MTV, you're like, our kids are jumping off of roofs and blowing each other up because of Jackass. Okay. And lastly, before we get to the laugh sleaze, did this special have an intro? Yes, it did. Very cool. I like when specials have intros, and this one did have one. It has 4 things in it. It has that song by DMX where he says, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, up in here, up in here. I'm assuming that one of those lyrics I just said is the name of the song, but I can't be sure. Unless I were to have looked up the name of the song, which I could have easily done quicker than I could have rambled on like I'm doing. Anyway, the other things in the intro is 3 things. Pictures of Dave Chappelle wearing various funny hats, as well as no hat at all. Over the top of still images of like the subway line or maybe the bus line in Washington, D.C. It's the public transport map in Washington, D.C. Should have researched. And iconic images of Washington, D.C. Those 4 things are the intro. This could have been a quarter of the time. In the opening 10 minutes, Dave takes the stage because that's when you do that. He comes out and he is soaking up the love, the energy, the raucous environment. Honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I saw the crowd was Live at the Apollo. And I promise I'm not being racist. That's not racist. It's because, look at it, like the energy in the room is insane. Everyone's jumping up and down, and throughout the whole show, they are just ready to explode. They are emoting for anything. Not that Dave is not earning his, his standing ovations and he gets a lot of lone survivor standing ovations throughout this comedy special. Like you'll just get one person standing up randomly being like, preach. And it's a lot of the times it's a white guy. Like I said, I'm not being racist. It's like 55% black in the room, maybe 45% other. Maybe I'm just too concerned about being racist. When am I surrounded by a bunch of white comedians? I need to get some books by black comedians so people don't think I'm racist. How many times have you said racist in the past 80 seconds? Cool. There are 66 laughs in this segment, and I didn't realize that every single segment of this show has iconic jokes in it. For instance, we get, also I didn't realize how often Dave Chappelle uses callbacks, especially in his early material. Every single segment has callbacks. There's callbacks on callbacks. In this segment, you get a callback to the butt cheeks joke, and then also we get a really iconic joke about, like, I don't know, I'm gonna call it the Chip Chronicles. It's really just a vehicle for the white versus the black experience. Great taglines here, especially the one about a waste of weed when you're talking to the police officers. Hi, I really like that. Great comedy, great stuff, great energy, great everything, 66 laughs. Let's see where it goes from here. Minutes 11 to 20. As I mentioned, Dave is really good with the callbacks, and here we get another callback, and then another callback to that callback, and it's the sprinkle some crack on him. He does this so many times throughout the special that I thought it was the closing joke. I thought he like did the callback as the closing joke to the entire special. He doesn't, but I'll get back to that. 73 laughs during this entire segment. That's a lot. He had a lot of laughs in the first 10 minutes. It's always good to see a comedian come out and be above average on the laughs and then heighten in the next 10 minutes. It's like, you know, you like the audience. I don't need to explain what the number, you know what numbers rising means. I don't need to explain that part. The iconic joke during this part, we have the baby on the corner selling weed in the ghetto, and Dave is afraid of the baby. Really funny stuff. Maybe in my top 5 Dave Chappelle jokes. I like it. 73 laughs during this segment. I probably said that 3 or 4 times now, but I gotta say it. And did I say that yet? Minutes 21 to 30, the baby joke continues. The iconic baby joke that I was just talking about, that one. Andy Griffith is gay. The iconic baby joke that I was just talking about, that one continues. The thing about that joke is the first main big punchline of it is like a reveal. Oh, look, we're actually in a fantasy world. This isn't a joke based in reality. Usually when that happens, the comedian has to give up on the joke. However, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've been in a haunted house before. Like, I go to haunted houses all the time because I'm not afraid of the dark. Like HHN, I don't know if you've been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, but they have a type of scare where it's like a mirror's slightly like bent towards the wall, so it looks like the wall continues, but then a person jumps out from behind the mirror. It's pretty scary, but they can't get you there again because you're like, oh, that's a mirror. What I'm saying is that Dave Chappelle kind of like gets you with the mirror 3 times in a row, which seems like the baby joke heightens 3 times in a row. Also, we get the 4th callback to sprinkle some crack on him, and we get another iconic joke, not like the most iconic Dave Chappelle joke of all time, but iconic enough to be noted in the laugh track. The Sesame Street bit goes on for maybe, I don't know, like a couple minutes, and he goes through like a couple of the different characters, and like the Count is like a pimp, because he has a cape, stuff like that. It's funny. It's just, I like it. 65 laughs during this segment, and that's less. So he's bad at comedy. In this 10 minutes, Dave starts to talk about politics, specifically like the current politics of his time. And I started to get a little bit worried. I was like, oh no, am I going to check out because I don't remember like the political climate of the year 2000? Turns out it was actually more like a vehicle for more broad topics. He used it for... I like the way that he used it here. I was able to stay along with it, and there were very few like actually in the know topical of the time jokes. There was one about like maybe a mayor doing like crack or coke or something like that. Like it seemed like, I don't know, I'm just using my context clues here. Did the mayor of Washington DC get in trouble for doing cocaine in either the year 1999 or 2000? Because that's what it seems like from one of the jokes that he told. Other than that though, it wasn't very like topical. 63 laughs during this segment. That's a little bit less, which he's so bad at comedy. The laughs are going down. Minutes 41 to 50. This is the end of the political jokes into his section on men versus women, the dichotomy of gender and such. Dichotomy, cool word that I've used before and I will use again. That's the Robert Strange promise. 49 laughs during this part. So the laughs start to go down a little bit, but here's the thing that starts to come up is Dave Chappelle's little wisdom. He seems to be wise beyond his years. We definitely get that in his comeback to Netflix over the past 5 or 6 years now, however long it's been, like the specials that he put out. He's definitely like a figure of wisdom now. However, you can start to see like the blossoming of that back then, even in the year 2000, and that happens as like the laughs start to ramp down. And the thing that's cool about this section is if you only have a little bit of time to watch this special and you don't even care about the jokes, look at the audience during this section, because up until this point, like I mentioned, they're a little bit like Live at the Apollo where they're just like losing their minds. But now you see people tighten up. You see like couples in the front row being like, I don't know if I'm gonna laugh at these jokes about women because like my girlfriend's right, and like you see some women being like, You know, some people, like, you see them do that and then they break a couple jokes later, and that's very fun. But you definitely start to, like, see the audience cramp up a little bit here. Minutes 51 to 56. Dave is still in his, like, philosophical Chappelle side during the opening of this segment, but as the special ends, he seems to want to end it on, like, a, not that it wasn't upbeat before, but he wants to end it on, like, a really upbeat note, and the laughs really start to ramp up. The laughs per second, laughs per minute, they start to ramp up right here at the very end of the special, as he kind of, like, exits the philosophical side and he goes back into, like, he does a lot of callbacks here. I think 2 or 3 callbacks, including the closing callback, which is to the iconic baby on the corner Saint Louis joke. 33 laughs here, and it's only like 5 or 6 minutes at the end. I don't know exactly what that is. Laughs per minute, laughs per second. Let's go to the stats. Let's check out those laughs. Let's go check out the stats. Those were the laughs, and now we can get to the stats. Starting out, as always, with the bad words. Chappelle gives us 155 total bad words in Killing Them Softly. Leading the way from the big 4, oh shit, it's usually fuck, but it's shit, with 56 entries. Leading the way from the eclectic bunch is the N-word, with 18 entries. 14 of those ending with a soft A sound, and 4 of those ending with a hard R sound. There were 349 total laughs, over a total time speaking of 56 minutes, 4 seconds. That gives us a laughs per minute of 6.22, and a laughs per second of that really big, really small looking number right there.
Good job on those stats. That was super. So, now we're moving on to the comparisons. Looks like Dave Chappelle is taking one of the spots, but not the top spots for the top laugh, or the top spots for the most laughs per second. Those still remain with Daniel Tosh. Happy thoughts. Interesting. However, he does have it for most bad words. He takes it from Bo Burnham. What? Well, he only had it for 1 week. Super special. It must be my birthday.